Hey guys, and welcome back to Devil Dagger. It's been a little while since the last episode, but there's been a little bit of work going on the back end here in Devil Dagger. As you can see, we have a few new additions to the kingdom. In the comment section, one particular viewer stated that he or she wanted to be added. So we'll go ahead and add that person. And considering the name, I'm assuming that person wanted to be a male. So go ahead and add and welcome Newton to the kingdom. Make sure that held. Yep, Newton has been added. And we will look at the professions and see exactly what we need. Looks like we need an engineer or a tinkerer, which we named Da Vinci. And we also need a brewer and a doctor. So let's take a look at all the nomads. Wakink seems to be that Wakink is a decent tailor and potter, but we've already got a crafts gnome. And other than that, the skills are pretty average. Oodle Fuzzle. Her skills are, again, pretty average. She's not really standing out anywhere that I can see. A decent butcher. Decent armor crafter. Might be... No, our arms dealer is doing pretty well at weapon crafting and armor crafting as well, so let's take a look at Newton and see what his skills are. Another decent tailor, a decent leather worker, pretty decent armor crafter, but unfortunately the weapon crafting sucks, so we can't be using him for that. Alright, well, I think the best thing to do then would be to start getting a tinkerer going. So Newton, considering the fact that you're named after a scientist, or at least that's what your name reminds me of, I'm going to make you the new tinker, or as in the jobs description, the Da Vinci of our kingdom. So you're going to be in charge of all the traps and machines, so you have a very big job ahead of you. I do hope you prove yourself. There will be glorious machines ripping our enemies apart very shortly. Now let's see out of Wakink and Oodlefuzzle who has the better brewing skill. We got 10 on Wakink, and Oodlefuzzle has a 9. So Wakink is going to be our brewer, or our barkeep as we call him. And Oodlefuzzle, I think you're just going to be a soldier for right now. Because we are lacking in the soldier department right this second. We only have 3 of them, so... And guys, if you want to join the kingdom and be a part of the action here in Devil Dagger, just drop a comment down below and I'll be happy to add you. Like I said, it adds a bit more diversity to the kingdom. It makes me care about the gnomes a little bit more. Adds a little bit of backstory to it. But with that, let's go ahead and unpause and watch our new additions rush to the front door, coming up and over the mountain. And now you guys can see some of the work that I've been doing in the meantime in between episodes. I went ahead and set up a little walking path for our tree groves. Can't find words today for some reason. I added a wall up here because I'm actually going to be expanding up to this second layer here. So we got a wall going up here, and if we follow that, we'll have another wall right here. And for some reason, somebody cannot find a path to... Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes in the game, there will be a problem with pathing. I'm not sure exactly why the gnomes can't figure it out, for whatever reason, but It seems to me that if they can't go around this way, they should just come around the other way. But we'll go ahead and remove that ramp and force them to come up to the other side of it. That should help them build it. But that is a problem in the game. I'm sure RoboBob is aware of it, the developer behind the game. So it's just something that we have to deal with and try and work around for the moment. The recent patch that he's working on for the game, or release that he's working on, is for bug fixes and optimizations. So you can also see some of the layouts that I've been laying out on the second layer. I've decided that we're gonna stop adding bedrooms once we add this next row here. We're gonna add a central hallway right here, and the main reason why we are adding the addition up here is because we want to make this a 3-wide hallway and have some pillars as support, and we're going to completely open this up so that the gnomes can just walk outside and get some fresh air, have some more fresh air rushing into the bedrooms, but the walls should keep them pretty warm. And right here, this big giant block here, we're actually going to move the ambassador from, I believe it was Rock Dirt? Yeah, Rock Dirt up here, and he's pretty much just, I wouldn't say he's going to be the manager of this block, but if there's any problems in this block of apartments or bedrooms, whatever you want to call it, I would assume that the gnomes would go to him because he's got a little bit more pull in the kingdom. Got a lot of idle gnomes right now, unfortunately. And right now, it looks like they're still having trouble with this pathing. So again, you got to remove some of these ramps, and that's the problem that I've noticed the most is with ramps. The gnomes, for whatever reason, they try and path up to the ramp, realize they can't stand on top of it, and so they go to stand on top of it, immediately realize they can't stand on top of it, cancel the job, go back to another job, and then try and keep doing it on an infinite loop. And sometimes it's really frustrating because you have to completely revamp how you're trying to do things, but for the most part it works out okay. I'm going to go ahead and remove these ramps here, all on the second layer, just so we can start progress up here. And I am going to add just a temporary stairwell. We'll probably be adding a more permanent stairwell. Right now we'll just make it out of some wooden planks. Pine's perfectly fine because that seems to be the most that we have right now. And go ahead and rotate that around, and that'll give them access to the top layer. They won't have to leave the safety of the kingdom to get up there. So for right now, we'll go ahead and add that before they manage to get themselves stuck. But for the most part, that's just about it in terms of the things that I've been doing. I've been trying to let a little bit of time pass to see if we can't get a merchant to come to the kingdom and give us some more ore. That way we can outfit our military with some bronze gear. There has been a little bit of redecorating here at the blacksmith's workstation. I did want to add a torch up here to give them some light, as well as adding a few statuettes to be made at the stone carver, just to give us something that we can actually trade for the merchant when he or she does show up. Other than that, not a whole lot has actually happened in the kingdom, unfortunately. We had one minor incident with an animal, and speaking of a minor incident with an animal, we found a bear. Now, hopefully our gnomes don't... Okay, the gnomes didn't rush out to immediately try and fight the bear. Thank God. Alright, looks like everybody or the two miners, the miner and the mason anyway, are removing those ramps, making it safe for our gnomes to be up here without having to worry about any enemies trying to get at them. And this also gave us access to a few more trees up here. I'm not particularly worried about clearing those out. Strawberries, the cotton, they can stay there. It's not a big deal. I will, however, replace some of this clay up here, because that will actually come in handy once we create a potter's workstation, because the potter can actually add a little bit of worth to the kingdom. But as I mentioned previously, we really want to watch our kingdom worth. We're sitting right at 20,500. And once we hit that 32,000 threshold, that's when ogres are going to start showing up. And if we don't have armor on our gnomes by that point, we're going to be in trouble, because one, the ogres hit really, really hard. Like, it can actually, on an unarmored gnome, it can actually punch their chest and hit their heart and actually make their heart stop. So we want to be careful with that. But now that we're back on camera, because I didn't want to do any of this digging off camera, all I did was set up the designations. I'm actually going to go ahead and tell them to go ahead and start mining, just so that you guys can see that I'm adding some more bedrooms and stuff. And it's good because we just got 3 new nomads, so 3 of these bedrooms are already spoken for in a sense. And of course this bedroom is going to be for the ambassador from Rock Dirt, so we'll go ahead and get that set up. And holy crap, who is that? Faye is going to town on that dirt. Oh my gosh. Just ridiculous. Alright, let's see here. And we want it right there. And another one right there. Alright, those bedrooms are all replaced. And go ahead and mine out all this right here. And actually, I just realized that this is the first episode I've recorded since the big break through the holiday season. So I hope you guys had a great holiday season, whatever you celebrated. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever the case may be. Festivus is another one that I heard this past year. So whatever the case may be, I hope you had a great time. I hope you spent it with family. That's what I did. I just kind of hung out with the family and had a few laughs. Hope you guys had a great New Year's. But hopefully now that we are through the holiday season, I can get back into a decent recording schedule, because unfortunately the holidays seem to have made the people I work for whatever reason, think that they need to send me massive amounts of work, and so I've been a little busy with that here recently. But like I said, I hope that I can get back into a decent recording schedule now, because I do enjoy doing this and hanging out with you guys. So in case you guys haven't noticed, replacing the blocks underneath these walls here, I've been told 2 separate stories. One is that it does count towards the room worth, which is why I do it, because I would rather have it count and give the room a little bit more worth. And I've also been told that it has absolutely nothing to do with the room worth, but I'd rather err on the side of caution and frankly be a little bit more optimistic in the fact that our gnomes will be getting a little bit more worth out of it. So that's why I actually do replace all those walls and replace the floors underneath them, because I've been told that these blocks underneath the walls will actually count towards the kingdom worth. And right now we still have a decent supply of stone, 191, so we will be having to go back down into the mine here shortly. Probably not in this episode though. We should be able to outfit all of this no problem. But the great thing is that now we can start adding some embellishments up here, just to give our gnomes a little bit nicer things to look at as they're moving to their bedrooms to lay their head down at night. But we are in the next season of summer in year 2, so things should be ramping up rather quickly. Like I said, we're kind of just at the mercy of a merchant right now, because we haven't dug very deep. In between episodes, I may start to look for some ore if the merchant doesn't show up in a reasonable amount of time, and by a reasonable amount of time I mean before the next season. because frankly this is just, it's getting rather old, just kind of sitting around waiting for a merchant to show up. Go ahead and set up these walls as well. The great thing about adding only a few bedrooms at a time is that you can actually get it all on camera. You guys don't have to sit there and be bored. And frankly, I don't have to try and think of things to talk about while I'm trying to get these bedrooms set up. And that should be all set up. And I think actually I'm going to go ahead and get this hallway established. So we'll go ahead and set that up, just to give ourselves a game plan of where we actually want it to be. We'll probably replace these walls here and just have a few pillars. I might pull the wall back just a little bit just to add a few more pillars there, because it does make things look rather nice in my opinion. We actually don't have anything right here at all, so I don't know. Might have to add a little bit of an overhang just to make the pillars seem like they make a little bit more sense. Again, it comes back to that whole terraforming thing. Whether or not you're for it or against it, it's just a matter of opinion, really. And it looks like our groves are doing alright. We need a few more apple clippings in order to fill that out. Our orange grove is completely filled though, and as I stated in the previous episode, I create the birch and pine groves in a bit of a more organic fashion, just because orchards you grow on your own in a particular fashion so that you get the maximum harvest, but birch and pine trees, I believe, should just let them grow organically. Our wheat field is fully planted now, though, so that's great. We can finally pull in a crap ton of wheat and use that as a currency, basically. I'm not really sure what's going on with this. I'm not sure if there's wheat there or not, but I'm going to go ahead and tell them to replace it if I can. Yep. So I guess they tilled it and didn't plant anything in it, but for right now, we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to tell them to replace it. But that's about it in terms of things that have been done while you guys were gone. Unfortunately, trying to catch everybody up on what has been going on in between episodes has taken the majority of the time, and we're almost out of time for the day. But I think we can go ahead and get everything set up for the rest of these bedrooms before the end of the episode. And in case you're wondering, the reason why the episodes have to be roughly about 20 minutes or less is because of the file size limitations. Because in the area that I live in, the internet is pretty much just junk in terms of getting what you pay for. You're either paying hand over fist for decent internet, or you have to just settle for really lousy upload speeds, which unfortunately in the area that I live in, that's pretty much all I can do is settle for lousy upload speeds. And due to the way that YouTube is operating for whatever reason, when you start approaching 25 and 30 minute episodes, the upload time just gets ridiculous, and unfortunately that would just leave me unable to upload any episodes whatsoever, because I couldn't make sure that it actually does upload and there's not any errors or anything. And like I said, I really do enjoy doing this and just getting people involved while I'm playing, because I enjoy this game, and having people comment on it, on my choices, and give me feedback and suggestions just makes it that much more fun, in my opinion. It's kind of like hanging out with friends. As I've stated before, it adds a new realm of possibilities to the game. But as our gnomes finish that up and start setting everything up, keeping the miners and the mason busy, I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode here, guys. Again, I hope you had a great holiday season. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be recording some more episodes. Hope to see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a thumbs up down below. If you didn't like it, leave me a thumbs down. It gives me some feedback about what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, at least in your opinion. And there's the autosave. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope to see you in the next. Y'all have a good one.